Welcome back to the Detechtor Podcast, where I break down the impact of tech on the environment, our health, and how it can affect our day-to-day lives. I'll also be discussing some of the latest tech news and innovations, along with how to make the most of the gadgets that we use every day. I'm your host, Scott Hickman, founder of Detechtor.com, a blog that covers these topics. So get ready to learn about the technology that surrounds us and how it's impacting our lives. In this short episode of the Detechtor Podcast, I'll be taking a look at the environmental impact of upgrading your smartphone. Smartphone technology is evolving rapidly. Every year, they have better cameras, performance, refresh rates, screens, and batteries. Tempted by a host of new features, people can't help but upgrade to the latest model. But what happens to all the smartphones we go through? Well, the average lifespan of a smartphone is 3 to 4 years, perhaps even 5. But by that time, the battery's capacity is likely to have decreased significantly. After that average lifespan has been reached, most people will throw away their smartphone and upgrade to a more recent model. However, on average, only 12.5% of electronic waste is recycled, with approximately 20 to 50 million metric tons of e-waste disposed of worldwide every year. This is a huge problem for the environment due to the chemicals in these devices leaching into the groundwater system from landfills, polluting the land, water, and air. With companies constantly encouraging people to upgrade by stopping updates for older models, it renders them obsolete. Not only is this a problem for the environment, but by throwing away these devices, we are wasting precious metals such as copper, silver, gold, palladium, and other raw materials that would require significant resources to mine and manufacture. This is why it is so important to recycle old cell phones and preserve these increasingly scarce materials where possible. Here are some suggestions on how to alleviate these problems. First of all, instead of buying a new phone, why not just change the battery? Often the smartphone is still in good condition. Once you have had your smartphone for several years and have already changed the battery, you should recycle it and buy a new one. Some companies even offer trade-ins for credit on your next phone. You should also consider buying refurbished products. They're often as good as brand new, with the added benefit that it helps the environment and saves you money. And finally, instead of throwing the phone away, you should sell it or give it to a friend or family member. The bottom line is that currently we change smartphones way too often. There is no specific amount of time that you should keep the same phone for, but when changing, think about where your phone may end up if you don't recycle it, sell it, or pass it on to someone else. That's it for this brief episode of the Detechtor Podcast. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to subscribe, follow us on social media, and check out Detechtor.com for more stories on how tech impacts our lives. Thank you so much for listening, and stay tuned for the next episode. Bye!